For as long as I can remember, I've always loved trivia competitions. I don't care if it's random questions at the bar, a long-running television show, or a video game that mocks me for getting the answers right. I love it all. That's why I was so excited to play Trivia Throwdown, a clever new mashup that combines the beat-em-up action of fighting games with the brain-busting fun of trivia night. That's a cool concept, but is this debut release from Eclectic City Games able to live up to its potential? Let's find out. This is a simple game to understand. It's a trivia competition with elements you might see in a fighting game. What that translates to is a life bar, combo attacks, and even special moves. But look, don't expect Trivia Throwdown to be the next big attraction at EVO, because the emphasis here is squarely on the questions and answers. You play this game for the trivia, not to count frames and pull off a 20-hit combo. The idea is to pick a character and ascend a number of difficulties named after famous mountains. You do this by taking on the opponents and beating them twice, which means getting enough right answers until their life bar drops down to 0. The trick is that the questions are given to both fighters at the same time, so it ultimately comes down to who knows more about these random subjects. If you know the answer and the other player doesn't, then you'll be able to get a hit in and take down a little bit of their life. Now, if you're good and can pull off several right answers in a row, then you'll sneak in a second attack without them even noticing. On top of the basic back and forth, you'll also be able to unlock special moves that can be used in order to get out of a tough spot. For example, we'll slowly earn a chip that'll allow us to double up on the damage. It's a wager based solely on the category, and it could really pay off if used correctly. There's also a second move that'll allow you to reshuffle the questions and give you 3 new categories. Both of these can be used strategically to take out the opponents. Now, you may end up using that reshuffle move a bunch of times because the categories are all over the place. There are more than 2,500 questions in the package, including oddly specific pop culture categories that include everything from video game bosses to classic sitcoms to grunge music. You also get a lot of sports, geography, history, and of course political questions. What's jarring about the game is that we'll immediately go from The Legend of Zelda to questions about the September 11th attacks. The categories go in some dark and questionable directions, and I wish the selection was curated more for this type of game. And I think this is the part of the review where the whole concept comes crashing down to the floor. As a game about answering questions, Trivia Throwdown is pretty good. The categories are a little too broad, and the difficulty swings wildly in all directions, but it gets most of the basics right. Unfortunately, they didn't add enough of the fighting elements. It would have been nice to see other mechanics from the genre seep into the design, like reversals or blocking or maybe even finishing moves. This is a solid first attempt at the mashup, but there's so much more they could have done with this idea. I mean, it also would have been nice to see a wider variety of characters to choose from. You know how games like Street Fighter and Tekken and Mortal Kombat would often feature large casts full of unique and diverse characters? Well, there's nothing like that here. The limited cast is made up entirely of generic ninjas and street brawlers, none of which have anything resembling a personality. Look, I couldn't name a single character in this game without looking it up. They're that memorable. And worse, they're all men. Every single character in this game is a dude, and not even an interesting dude. If this were a real fighting game, nobody would take this cast seriously. But fine, even with the lame characters and odd selection of questions, the real problem is that Trivia Throwdown kneecaps itself by limiting its multiplayer options. This is the kind of game that would be perfect for streamers, especially if you could get the audience to keep challenging you on Twitch or YouTube or something. But there's nothing like that in this game. In fact, you can't even play online. You're basically stuck playing against people you know who can huddle around the computer, which, let me tell you, feels like a huge missed opportunity. This game would have been perfect to stream. And that's largely how I feel about most of this game. It's just a big missed opportunity. Even the graphics are ho-hum and lack the kind of flair you would expect from a one-on-one fighter. Where are the cool fireball moves, or the pile drivers, or even the spear attacks? Even the backgrounds are muted to the point of being entirely forgettable. I loved answering the trivia questions, but the fighting elements let this game down. Between the bland backgrounds, awful characters, jarring categories, and complete lack of online multiplayer, this debut release from Eclectic City Games ends up being a bit of a disappointment. It's a lot of fun if all you want to do is answer a bunch of trivia questions, but the developer doesn't do enough with the one-on-one brawling. The good news is that if it's anything like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, they'll get all of their questionable ideas out of the way in the first game and come back even stronger with Trivia Throwdown 2. I'd play that. Hey, thanks for watching our review. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that we post new reviews and features almost every day. Now here's the question I have for you. What genre should trivia mix with next? There are actually quite a few trivia games out there that mix genres, so I'm excited to see what you come up with. Look, I still have faith that this developer is onto something here, so hopefully they're listening to the criticism. In other news, I'm spending most of the month trying to catch up on a lot of the reviews I've been meaning to get to. Some of these games are a month or two old, but I still think they're worth covering. If you're down with that, then I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.